You know, I think the core of the characters remain. I think the biggest difference is the kind of story we're telling. You know, the old Archie comic books were almost like gag cartoons. They'd be one page or 3 pages, and then it would end with a joke. There is definitely humor in Riverdale, but it's much more reflective of contemporary storytelling. There are lots of serialized elements. There's a mystery, but even apart from that, it's the characters growing from episode to episode. You know, the Archie comic books, they're 16. They will always be 16. They will always be sophomores or juniors. I can't even remember, but that's not how it's going to be on Riverdale. The characters are going to change and grow and learn.
How do you modernize the comic book to fit into a modern view of relationship between, for instance, like boys and girls and the romantic part of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're
the age of Tinder.
right. Well, the way we kind of modernize it is by incorporating all that stuff, and you know, it's not, you know. In the old days, it used to be like the story. I always say that the quintessential Archie story was, oh my gosh, it's the homecoming dance, and I'm taking both Betty and Veronica. I have to run around town and make them think that I'm with both of them. In the world we live in today with Tinder and social media and Facebook updates and all this stuff, we just wouldn't tell that story because Archie would be revealed before he even got started. So I think it's by exactly running into that and owning it as opposed to trying to avoid it.
Now, the current stories that are being written, say either Chip Zdarsky with Jughead or Adam Hughes just taking over Betty and Veronica, are like any of those storylines up for grabs for the future season, future episodes?
Yeah, you know, I think everything is on the table, and I think we have a library of 75 years of millions of pages of Archie stories to mine. You know, the only one that I think that really there was I think it was in the 80s, there was a really big return of Cheryl Blossom story where Archie was finally going to make up his mind. It was called Love Showdown. And that one I kind of use a little bit in the pilot and in season 1, but all that stuff's on the table, but so far we haven't done anything.
When you are subject matter that is so iconic, what is the most daunting part of, making it something you want an audience?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the most daunting challenge of it is, I love these characters. I grew up reading them. I wanted to be their friends when I was a kid. And I think that the biggest challenge or the biggest fear is you want to update them, you want to put them in situations they've never been, but you also want to make sure that you never betray who they are. So I always write at the top of a script page, handle with care. So even if I'm doing something that's a little controversial or scandalous with the characters, my guiding star always is what their core is, and that Archie, no matter how many mistakes he makes or how many wrong decisions and poor judgment he shows, he's still basically a good kid.
I remember when I read the comic, I have to come into the next table.
One more, really quick.
Okay.
That's it. I'll only do this once more.
When I read the comic and discuss it with my girlfriends, we were either like Team Betty or Team Veronica.
Right.
Do you think that's also going to be a thing?
Yeah, I think one of the things that people really responded to in the pilot, and which we'll do in series, is that Betty and Veronica aren't catfighting and they aren't being bitchy to each other. They'll become really good friends. It doesn't mean they won't fight, but we're not playing they're not a bunch of mean girls running around saying bitchy things to each other. Thank you guys.